Hi and welcome to this stream. Today we are recording at headquarters, hifi-klubben headquarters here in Denmark. My name is Pau. I work at hifi-klubben, obviously. And we do these streams because we want to show you some cool new products. We want to talk about products. And we do this stream because we have something called Hi-Fi Weeks. We dedicate a couple of weeks to great sound, to music. We dedicate it to playing that great music on great stereo. And we just want to do this because we can't invite you into the events that we usually do. So we do these streams now, and we've invited some of our dearest and closest suppliers, and we're looking very much forward to that. And today, my visitor is from DALI, the loudspeaker factory, and Thomas Knudsen is here.
Thank you.
And you are the product manager?
No,
you're the sales manager.
I'm the sales manager.
Sorry. And actually,
one of the sales managers.
One of the sales managers, but you're the senior sales manager.
I'm the senior, yeah. I'm the only one old enough.
The grey hair?
And the grey hair as well, yeah.
No more pay.
Been there way too long.
Yeah, been there way too long. So, but anyway, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for
we're looking very much forward. And before we start, I'd like to say to you that you can write questions in the comments below, and we will have people answering them. And we also received some questions before we start the stream, so I'll ask you during. But for now, Thomas, what is it actually you do at DALI?
Sometimes I wonder myself.
Yes.
But thanks for the intro. I'm in the sales department, having most of my job is with the export business to a number of markets worldwide. But I also like to thank you, hifi-klubben, for having us. It's a great opportunity for us to communicate with consumers out there in these times.
Yes.
We hope for opened shops as soon as possible. Very much. But maybe I should start talking just briefly and short about who DALI is, because we are founded close to 40 years ago. So that means we have an experience and we have a development and production experience for speakers, both to movie lovers but also to music lovers. Yes. And DALI stands for Danish Audiophile Loudspeaker Industries. Yeah. We were founded back in 1983 by a guy called Peter Lyngdorf, which we all know.
Yeah, we know.
Who at that time, few years before that, started up the hifi-klubben. He started the hifi-klubben by bringing in brands from the UK and from the US and selling them in Denmark. And quite quickly after that, he came to because he thought that these speakers was way too expensive. Okay. And he thought it should be possible to make a Danish speaker who had the same performance, the same nice look, but only for half the price. Okay. So that was his basic principle behind starting up DALI. And still today, that philosophy is something is behind everything we're doing. Okay. So and you're quite big. It's quite a big company nowadays. At least we grew a lot over the years. Yeah. In all modesty, we will describe ourselves as a speaker brand in Scandinavia, which is amongst the leading speaker brand, or market leader, we would call ourselves. And on many markets out there, for example, traditionally big speaker brand markets like Germany, like England, like Japan, we are amongst the leading brands on these ones. And how many countries? We are exporting to more than 70 countries. That's pretty cool, I think. And actually last year in 2020, we ended up manufacturing more than 300,000 speakers. And now we established ourselves with sales offices in 7 countries. Okay. And we are just above 300 employees. Okay, so it is big, yeah. We have been growing, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. News. We've gotten these wireless speakers for some time now, and we appreciate it very much. It gives new possibilities, but
what is it and what can it do actually?
Yeah, what I wanted to do today and what I wanted to focus on today is talk about active speakers, or some call them powered speakers. But what is that? Basically, it means a speaker where we as manufacturer has taken the choice to put in an amplifier in the speaker.
Okay.
Instead of the traditional way where people buy an amplifier, have speaker cables and a speaker setup. That's the basic idea behind. And it gives the consumer a number of advantages.
Of course, you don't need cables.
Obviously, there is a physical saving of space in your living room. And there's also a saving on the number of cable you use in your setup.
Of course.
No matter if it's just a traditional stereo listening setup or it's a TV setup.
Okay. So actually the biggest question for me is about quality. Can you do same quality wireless as you can do when you use cables?
Probably one of the biggest questions we get is that if we go on any compromise with quality, and the clear answer is no.
Okay, you don't?
No, not at all. And actually,
good to hear.
Yeah, and actually we suggest that with some of the solutions we have made, we actually for the money we create some solutions which sometimes sounds better than a traditional solution with amplifier and speakers.
Okay.
Because there are some choices being taken when you manufacture, when you develop a product like that.
Yeah.
For example, you take the amplifier and the woofer and you optimize them to work together. When you manufacture a passive speaker, you need to manufacture something who fits well with a number of amplifiers all over the world in different sizes and different price levels. Here you simply take the amplifier and the woofer and you tell them to work as good as possible to each other. So you simply optimize the performance.
Okay, so the customer is also sure to get what fits perfect, amplifier, loudspeaker wise.
We have taken the choice.
You've taken the choice,
for the consumer for something as optimized.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, what we also can do is we can use what we call a limiter. Okay. And a limiter simply means that if you play your favorite music and we all have a tendency to play too loud.
Yes.
You turn up the volume, it will simply play too loud, it will decrease the bass in the setup.
Okay.
And this means that you never will hurt your speakers. You don't blow
so
up
you can
a woofer.
play as loud as you want.
You can.
Without ruining your speakers.
No problem like that.
That would have saved me some money during the past years.
If you come back and from a weekend away and your teenager has been blowing up the speakers and you need to go and buy a new woofer, we all know we don't like that.
I actually use that excuse sometimes, but it's me.
Here we have that solution that you never
so you can do that.
Blow up your woofer.
So these active speakers, built-in amps, are that the market to come and the only thing, or will there still be passive speakers?
And that was actually one of the questions somebody asked before here, and it's a good question. We can say that yes, the future is active speakers, no doubt about it, because technology in general has developed to a level where we see everything get smaller and better. Think about cars and phones and so on. So there's no doubt, because today you can actually have an amplifier who is very, very small and have a big performance. Just have in mind our DALI Catch, a Bluetooth speaker, very small, but with an amazing sound level and the sound quality. Yeah. So yes, it is the future, and we will be developing more solutions. But our core business is also passive speakers, and we are a speaker brand. Yes. And without the development and the innovation of new ways of making speakers, we wouldn't be able to make these active speakers. So it goes hand in hand, you can say.
Yeah, okay. So apart from the amplifier, the speaker itself is the same technology as you use?
Totally.
Yeah.
What we will see today is actually we have taken some of the well-known DALI series, the Rubicon and the Oberon, and simply just added to them an amplifier and turn them wireless. Okay. So my suggestion or my guess is that it goes hand in hand, and the future would maybe be half and half what we will focus on.
So for some of us that still loves cables, we can still buy DALI speakers in the years to come.
We are a bunch of audiophile guys working at DALI, so no doubt there's still a good focus on that.
That was a nice word for old.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the latest product in the line of active speakers coming from DALI in the recent couple of years is the OBERON C-series, consisting of a bookshelf speaker, an on-wall speaker, and a floor-standing tower speaker. And the OBERON C-series stands on the shoulder of the other speakers we've been making in the last couple of years, the CALLISTOs and the Rubicon C.
Okay, so you got 3 different series.
Yes.
And 3 different price ranges as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll come a bit back to a more deep presentation on the OBERON C and the Rubicon C.
And all of them based on the series that are already in production.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And the OBERON C is also, or you can say all the speakers we have in the wireless section, they are based on the same technology and some of the same ideas. And this gives actually the consumer an options for the right sound solution in the home.
Okay.
My best suggestion is actually I can recommend people to visit an hifi-klubben store and actually have a look into these solutions, how they can fit, no matter if it's just a stereo listening position you are looking for, or it's actually an integration with the TV.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can do both.
You can do both.
It's not only for music.
Yes.
Can we see it? The OBERON is.
We have the OBERON C down here. This is the OBERON on-wall C. From the front, it looks exactly like the normal OBERON.
Because I have one of these in my shop.
Exactly, looks exactly the same.
With the built-in
but if you turn
amplifier.
around, you will simply see a difference. Is that you have an amplifier built in here,
okay,
and you have a power cable.
Power cable.
But no terminals for the speaker cables.
Okay. Yeah, I could still put it on the wall. I just need power, and that's it.
Yes.
So this one on wall.
And we have the OBERON 1C.
The 1C.
And we also have a tower speaker, a floor-standing OBERON 7C.
Yeah, okay.
But a wireless speaker solution from DALI consists of the heart in it all, and that's what we call a hub.
Oh, okay.
A so-called hub.
Yeah.
It works as a preamplifier that can be connected with both analog and digital sources, and transmitting the signal or the sound from this to the speakers, and then the conversion and the amplification happens in the speaker.
Okay. So a few questions here, but so you need 2 speakers and you need a hub.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
correct. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. No speakers without a hub.
Yeah.
And then another question. I think many of us. What sound quality when you do wireless? You do wireless to this one, and you do wireless from it to this. Is there any loss or?
We have taken the choice, instead of using traditional Wi-Fi, we have taken the choice and use an audio protocol, which more or less is creating a band between, or a certain type of Wi-Fi between the hub and the speakers. And then we can transmit the signal in highest possible quality.
Yeah, okay.
A fundamental principle in the whole platform is simply to send the signal as high quality as possible, but also has little latency as possible.
Yeah.
If you, for example, use this for a TV solution, you have the lip sync.
Yeah.
There should be no latency in this one. And here we are down to 10 microseconds in latency. So that's nothing you can think about. Yeah.
So when looking at this, the compact, you've got HDMI for your TV.
Exactly.
So TV sound, you just connect it to your TV wherever it is, and you can put the speakers wherever you want.
Exactly.
That's a nice solution.
And the solution is that you can see here, you can actually hang the sound of compact on the wall. You have small holes here. So you can take this solution, you can hang this on the back of the wall. It has HDMI, ARC, as we call it, with the audio return channel. That means you can use the remote you already have for your TV for controlling the sound on this one.
And also on the back I see different combinations of what I can put to this one. Actually, I can do a record player, or I can listen to my LPs. I can put on a CD player.
You can have a digital input as well.
Have a digital
input.
So
have you some type of streaming product you can add to this one as well.
Yeah, okay, and Bluetooth as well.
And Bluetooth as well.
Yeah, okay. So that's great. And this one.
This is this one was the sound of compact.
Yes.
This is what we call the sound hub. This one we add on the back because it has the optical, it has the analog inputs on the back, but this one also has ports on the back opening for that solution to build in a BlueOS module. So we have a cooperation with Lindbrook, who's the manufacturer of NAD Blue Sound, and they have made a BlueOS module which fits for this sound hub. So this means for people already having Blue Sound in the home, then they can add this as the prime listening position in the living room, and it works together with BlueOS.
And in another stream, we're actually going to talk to guys from NAD, and they got that MDC. So it's the module you just put in, and you got
simply
streaming.
Just a module you put in, and then you have streaming. You can stream music. You can then control the whole system from your phone via the Blue Sound application.
So for this one, Bluetooth, and for this one, both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. The signal you put in here and send to the speakers is actually on full 24-bit 96 kilohertz. For people using files, 24-bit files, they have no problem with that here as well.
So you guarantee the quality?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can say that that using our own protocol in that way, the quality by no means has been compromised over convenience. Because very often when you use Wi-Fi everywhere, it's for convenience.
Yes.
Here, it's both convenience but also quality, because you have that full 24-bit protocol for sending the signal.
Yes, most customers actually do have that question very much. You know, cables versus no cables and quality. So it's good to hear.
Exactly.
It's the same.
If we use traditional Wi-Fi for transmitting this, that Wi-Fi bandwidth normally will be occupied by other things in your home, everything from phones to Netflix and whatever you see. And sometimes you have a lot of bandwidth, and other times it's occupied. And that's also why there's a latency in general on Wi-Fi. That if it's occupied, for example, if you're listening to radio, and you will actually sometimes see that there's a latency.
But mostly it's for me it's like when the speaker on TV, you know, the sound is not able with what the mouth is doing, and that's no problem as well.
Exactly.
It's just,
we have the latency here is so low that you never will experience that as a problem.
Perfect. You promised that.
Exactly, I do. When it's transmitted to the speakers, then each speaker holds two amplifiers. You have a digital crossover. The signal will then be split into two different amplifiers. One amplifier is handling the bass units, and then the other amplifier handles the tweeter module. And we have also chosen, because what you have seen on other solutions from our competitors is to build in all that technology we spoke about before could have been principally built into the speaker as well. But we have chosen to have this standing as a standalone apart from the speakers. Because in this type you can actually put this hub close to your source. Whatever it's a turntable or it's a TV, you can have this one standing close to the source and then split the signal. Because normally your speakers will be standing in the corner of your home,
and you need all the equipment to be there.
Exactly.
Okay. So actually, with this one, I had a dream of making my record player wireless, but with this one,
you can. Exactly. And another advantage is that we all know about software updates. Software update is an issue today in many parts of our industry, here you can simply update the software by an USB stick. So that's kind of future-proof, you can say, for whatever coming of further or future
and we don't use that
updates.
Word much in our world, because that's a bold statement.
Exactly. But also another little thing about having this as a standalone is also the freedom of choice, because many people don't want to have stuff like this standing around. So you can actually hide it away. Once you have set this up, you can hide it away, and then you only have the speakers standing. And even the remote control for this sound hub is by Bluetooth. So you don't have any problem with having this put away in a drawer or in a cupboard.
Perfect. But series-wise, we got the OBERON C. You mentioned the
We also
Callisto.
have the Callisto model,
Yes.
and then we have the Rubicon C.
The Rubicon
we have
C.
the Rubicon 2C
Exactly.
and the Rubicon 6C here. One of the challenges we gave ourselves, now we're standing here looking at the whole range of different products.
Yeah.
One of the challenges we gave ourselves when developing this was that the setup of this system should be as easy or even easier than setting up a traditional amplifier, speaker cable drawing, and all that you normally do at home. So when you bring this home, you need 5 push on a button, and in less than 1 minute, you are ready to go. Then your amplifier, then your speakers and your hub is connected.
It's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so one speaker power, one sound hub compact,
Exactly.
power, connect, then you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds easy.
Exactly. But for example, if you look over here, we have the Rubicon 6C. The Rubicon C-series is available in 3 different finishes. There's a white and a black high gloss, but there's also this beautiful real wood veneer walnut.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Exactly. And the Rubicons are it's a traditional speaker from our side. It's a 6-year-old series now, where we're taking that into a Rubicon C series here.
But you knew this speaker was good, but now you put in an amplifier.
Yeah. And it's still available as a passive.
It's still available as a passive. So actually we had a question about this module. You use 2 tweeters?
We call it a hybrid tweeter module.
Okay.
And it's actually because we have here taken on some of our speakers where we have the space.
Yeah.
Because on some small solutions, we simply don't have the space to use the hybrid tweeter module.
Too big.
But on a product like this one, we have, you can say we have taken the best of 2 worlds. We have taken a dome tweeter and combined it with a ribbon tweeter.
Yeah.
So the dome tweeter here is actually an oversized dome tweeter. Bigger than what you normally see on the market, size-wise, when it comes to dome tweeters.
Yeah.
And the advantage of that is that it gives a better power handling for the tweeter, but it also goes deeper in the frequencies, so it gives better integration with the mid-range in the speaker.
Okay. So some ranges are played by this one only, and some ranges are played by the ribbon tweeter only.
Exactly,
Okay.
because the disadvantage about a dome tweeter and an oversized dome tweeter is that the higher up you get in the frequencies, the more pointy it gets.
Okay.
And then on top of that, we have the ribbon tweeter, which then will make sure to spread the sound and take care of the higher frequencies. But there's no crossover between the two. They simply roll off and on.
They roll off and on. Okay. So you don't hear the 2 tweeters, you only hear 1 tweeter.
Exactly.
Okay. It looks good.
It looks good. And that's kind of been the signature for a DALI speaker over the years. Yeah. But in general, I would say that when using a product like this, and now we spoke about the BlueOS module before, which opens up what we call streaming of music. And I often hear or read on different medias about that music streaming never can be as good as playing from a traditional source like a CD or an LP. And we will guarantee that you will be surprised to hear the level of quality you get from a setup like this one.
So actually you promise if people use Tidal Hi-Fi, or now Spotify has a Hi-Fi, you can get just as good sound from this product.
One thing is that we make a good quality, but another thing is today is that people at home have better routers, they have better Wi-Fi with a wider bandwidth. So simply it allows also streaming in a higher quality. And there is a number, as you said yourself, a number of streaming services available these days. So this goes very well into that philosophy.
The number of speakers, I didn't ask you about that. Is this one hub, one set of speakers?
This is one hub paired with one set of speakers.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but can I buy more speakers and use the same hub? Or
you can add up to 8 pair of speakers. To
one
this
hub.
Yes. And these, now before we spoke about the BlueOS module, having possibility for another module in this one will open up in the future for possibilities in this, because you can add more speakers. This will open up for a solution. But I think I will say more about that later on.
So, but now I have to ask. So when you say more speakers, some of us will think, what about surround?
Yeah.
Can you get wireless speakers using a
There's
surround
a reason
system,
why
or?
we have made it available.
Yeah, okay.
We have made the choice of being able to add more speakers. And that, of course, from the very beginning has been our ambition to come up with a HDMI module and HDMI solution for this, so you allow a surround solution for this one.
Okay, so both for my customers, I think I can sell more if I can get it, and for my marriage, my wife will be happy too. If I can let go of the cables for the
it would mean that you can actually have a surround solution at home where you don't need to have speaker cables drawn from an amplifier in the front to all the speakers.
We'll look forward to that.
So I think that's all I want to say now about that.
Okay. We'll leave it.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got this range from right under 10,000 for a pair. You need a hub, you need 2 speakers, and we go up to around.
We have we end up in about 40,000 Danish.
40,000. So okay.
Yeah. So in euro, you would say for us OBERON C inclusive sound of compact, you end up at about 1,300 euro. As a starting point. And ending up in an area around 4,000 or 5,000 euro. Okay.
So going on, is module coming that cheaper or more expensive, or where are you going?
We will probably not go cheaper. We will probably go higher and make something even better at a certain point. Okay. But actually, right now we have with the OBERON series, the Callisto, the Rubicon C, we have now a wide selection. Because one important point that I didn't mention yet is that these 2 different solutions on the hub, you can combine that with each of the speakers in these 3 different series. So you can, as a shop guy, having the customer coming in, and you can tailor-made it. Do you need something for the TV with HDMI, or do you need something for streaming of your music or connecting CD player, whatever? Then you can choose the sound
the different quality is in the speakers, not in the hub.
Exactly.
You can use the hub. Okay.
These works are both on the same protocol and the same platform. So can be simply combined with each other as flexible as possible.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Maybe I should tell you the Rubicon C, when coming from a Rubicon traditional passive speaker to the Rubicon C, it kind of breathes new air into a speaker, which really I think is a charming point for the Rubicon series. Because the Rubicon series now is more than 6 years old. The Rubicon was standing on the development of the Epicon, which was a speaker many people know as a really high-end speaker. The Epicon is now close to 9 years old.
And your most expensive speaker.
And the most expensive speakers, exactly. When we did the Epicons, we used a material, an iron material called SMC, soft magnetic compound. And we used it in the Epicons, and after that we made the Rubicons, where we were based the development of the Rubicon on what we learned by doing the Epicons. Basically, that SMC material, to keep it as short and as simple as possible, is we replace parts of the voice coil and the pole piece, where we replace traditional iron with SMC material. It's still magnetic conductive, but it's no longer electrical conductive in that area. And using iron is a major problem for most speaker manufacturers worldwide.
Because about distortion?
Coming distortion from that area, it's simply you create eddy current in that area, and that gives a distortion. It also develops heat in that area. And heat is, we know that from our physics lessons, heat is simply loss of energy. We don't want energy to be lost here. We want the energy from the amplifier to be transmitted into pure sound. And then it doesn't heat up when you use the SMC material.
Okay, so you use SMC, first off in Epicon, and now you use it as series.
And now it's in more or less all our
Talking
ranges.
about that Epicon series, is you yourself mentioned it was 8 or 9 years old. You know this question is coming now, but
I know.
What about a new one? Mark II or just another model? Or
it's a question we very often get. And honestly, it's the hardest part from our side is to make something better now. Because we still believe we made the perfect speaker at that time. We still believe it looks good. Aesthetics on the Epicons are cool speakers. So it's difficult, but we also know that it's 9 years old. So there will be coming something new in that end at some point. Nothing I can tell you about, but we are of course well aware.
Yeah, okay. So for now we enjoy the Epicon and
exactly.
look forward.
But there will be something new at a certain time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
in general, I would say that I think we've been around most of it. I still, one of the very, very important parts of this system is the flexibility. Where no matter if you go for a sound solution for a TV or you just want to listen to music in a high quality, we have solutions here for everything. With the number of products we now have both with bookshelf speakers, with floor standing speakers, we have on-wall speakers in different price levels. You can find the solution. So it's simply just a matter of coming down to your local hi-fi club and ask for a solution which is tailor-made for your home.
And also I see benefits from moving it. If you have this in your living room or wherever, you can just put it in your kitchen for one night
or bring it to a terrace in the summertime. Because basically you don't need the Wi-Fi here. Most people today, they would have something music local on your phone or on your iPad. You can bring it to terrace, you can bring it to your summer house at the beach, because it connects you. You just power it on, and when it once has been paired together, these products, it will simply pair immediately. Again, you just connect music to it via Bluetooth or by a cable, and it plays. So it's difficult to name many products you can do the same. It's a very flexible product.
So this is also the future, I think.
It is.
It is. Perfect. But Thomas, anything else? Or
I think I've been around most of the things I wanted to say today, and nice questions from people out there.
That was very good to hear some news from you. We always look forward to that. Now we look very much forward to get some customers in to talk about these products.
We all sell them look forward to get out there again and have the shops open.
And to you, thank you very much for watching. And before you leave, I know the guys at DALI has one small thing they want to show you. So stay tuned for a little more. Here at the end, we are so fortunate to have another visitor from DALI. You're the product manager.
That's correct.
Christian Møller Pedersen.
Yes.
And you're here to talk a little about headphones.
Yes.
Some news about headphones and why a loudspeaker company even does headphones.
That's a good question. And I think many would ask the same thing. The main reason that we are making headphones are because the way we look at headphones are that a set of headphones is a set of loudspeakers on each side of the head. So it is basically a small set of loudspeakers. And as it is today, lots of people listen to music on headphones. And being a loudspeaker company, and we have a very clear idea of what a loudspeaker should sound and how a hi-fi system should sound, we simply thought that the general quality of Bluetooth headphones on the market wasn't up to what we call hi-fi, and we simply thought, with our experience in loudspeakers, if we can kind of project that and utilize that into a set of headphones, we'll be able to give customers the DALI hi-fi experience on a set of headphones.
Okay, you know, you can't take a trip around town without seeing a lot of people using headphones nowadays. And you got one headphone, or?
We have two models. Initially, they look the same because they're based around the same design. So it's basically two versions of the same headphone. One is called IO4 and one is called IO6. The difference is that the IO6 has noise reduction, which is very useful if you're traveling a lot in airplanes. At the moment, that's not what so many do, but it's very handy because you can really suppress the background noise. But as the same design, and they're using the same batteries, but the power consumption of the noise cancelling is quite high. So the IO4 does 60 hours battery life on a charge.
Oh, that's a long time.
Whereas the IO6 does 30 hours, which is still long, but 60 hours is quite unique.
Yeah, okay, 30 and 60 hours. Yeah, you can listen to a lot of music on that. In hifi-klubben, we've been so fortunate to sell the black version, the caramel version, for around a year now.
Yeah.
And then something new happened.
Of course, yeah. Now we're just introducing 2 new colors, army green and chalk white.
I have to say, I just love this army green one, especially the details.
Yeah.
And you see them inside. Maybe you could show it to us?
Yes. Inside the cups, we got a red pattern, and we also have the cables are red. So quite nice, small details. So these are definitely lookers.
Yeah.
But we're not just here in the headphone business for the look, because if we were just someone that tried to make a headphone for the design and for the features, we wouldn't really justify us being here. So I think it's fair to say a little bit about the sound, and mentioned before that we think we could make a difference. I think it's fair to talk a little bit about what that difference is and why we, in the DALI headphones, believe that we made a better headphone.
Yeah, so you use a lot of the technology you know
Exactly.
from producing loudspeakers to make these headphones.
Exactly. General principle in a loudspeaker is that, as with cooking, you need to have good ingredients. So, as a starting point, you need a really good driver, or loudspeaker transducer. And when we looked in the headphone market, we realized that the transducers in headphones, the drivers, are fairly inexpensive and very small, and quite different from a loudspeaker unit, as you see in a traditional loudspeaker. The ones that we're using in the IO4 and IO6 is a custom-made DALI driver. It's much larger than the conventional ones. Ours is 50 millimeters versus the more traditional 40 millimeter in diameter. So it's a much larger radiating area. It's constructed as a miniature loudspeaker. It's got a free-moving suspension. It's got paper fiber cones.
Just like the speakers, yeah? Just
like the speakers. The magnet system and the voice coil system, all that, the motor system has been optimized exactly like if it was a traditional loudspeaker. Okay. So that itself, making a much better drive unit, I mean, that's the basis for a good sound. And this type of headphone driver is simply not seen in this price range of headphones. They do exist, something similar, but at a much higher price point, much more audiophile headphones. So we're taking that into this level of headphones. But the driver itself is not enough. It also needs to sit in a cabinet like traditional, like a traditional loudspeaker. And also here we've used the experience we have from loudspeakers of making the back chamber as acoustically dead and resonance-free as possible. And one thing that we found during the development, and this is that typically headphones, they don't have any damping material inside the chamber. And it's like, we would never think of making a normal loudspeaker without any acoustic damping inside the cabinet. So of course, that we've also utilized here. So it's got damping material inside the cabinet. It's actually the same felt damping material as we're using behind the soft domes on our in-house tweeters. It makes a massive difference in the mid-range resolution. So it's like, sonically, our goal was to make the best sounding Bluetooth headphone on the market. And looking at the reviews and customer feedback, we think we've achieved that. And we even got an ISA award last year. Yeah. So
for best headphone.
Best headphone.
The price range, yeah.
So yeah, we are very proud of them. Yes,
and we're so fortunate in hifi-klubben to sell these headphones, and now we're looking very much forward to these 2 new colors.
Yeah, we think they're going to do good. We love them.
Of course they will. Of course they will. So, but thank you very much, Christian,
thank you
for this presentation.
Yeah,
and
you're welcome.
We'll do our best.
Yeah,
thank you. And to all of you, thank you very much for listening to this stream. We look so much forward to see you out in the shops again, and basically we can't wait. It's a bit boring without new customers. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. See you.